The upside for Canberra will be that's as good a hit out coming into the semi-finals as any side will get. Next,
playoffs. The referee today is Stephen Clark. He'll be assisted by the video referee Chris Ward. Chris was on the Ansett Australia flight coming to Canberra today, and he said he's been having a pretty good run lately. Stephen Clark hasn't called on his services for the last 3 weeks. We're underway. Round 17 of the Telstra Cup. And first touch of the ball for the Adelaide Rams. MAYBON has tackled 10 metres out from his own line. 52 is David Kidwell. And this is Cameron Blair. The Adelaide pack will have a lot of work ahead of them today just to gain parity at least with the Canberra side. Hick plays it. One out stuff in the opening set.
I think this is where Adelaide has struggled in a couple of games they've actually played at home that I have seen, is that the first 4 or 5 sets they go all right, make some good yards, but then they'll make a mistake which puts them under a lot of pressure, and that's why I think they're running in the position that they are. Too many mistakes in a game where they should be making them.
The 30-metre mark. Canberra's opening set of 6. Right, Lightning a dummy half. Clyde looking for some runners and he finds Hetherington. Critters waits for it at dummy half. Kennedy has been in try scoring form this year. Ben Kennedy, 11 tries, the club's leading try scorer. Now it's Daly. They go wide and Furner is standing out in the centres. Still inside the Raiders territory though. Stewart, no pressure on him, all the time in the world to get the kick in. Just drills it down into the corner, gets the roll on, and it's into touch. So Brett Kenny, not a bad opening set by the Raiders.
Yes, that'd be what Rod Reddy was certainly looking for, and very consistent, good set of 6. And but now, unfortunately, they're under a bit of pressure with Canberra inside their 20 metres, but they have got the feed.
Steve Stone up against his old teammate Ricky Stewart.
Well, he's one player that want to impress today, wouldn't he? Steve Stone, of course. The other guy I think has had an outstanding season for the Adelaide side, Mark Corvo.
Kidwell plays it back to Williamson. Working that left side, and they go wide now. They just can't find any room through there. Quinn plays it. Adelaide. 15 from halfway to the short side through Stone. The inside pass is a good one. Boughton almost to halfway. Now it's Corvo taking them on. And he ran into Hetherington and also Kennedy. They're inside Canberra territory. Back now to the 5'8" Williamson. And straight into the arms of Royston Lightning. Across field before losing his footing, and he's claimed there by Williamson, the man that kicked it downtown. Albert Fullervai, former rugby union player, now 29. He's had a bad run with injury, Fullervai. Missed half the season again with the knee injury.
I think some of the Canberra players, especially their forwards, I know that Big Bradley Clyde makes a good run up the middle there, but they are still walking, some of their players. Get some enthusiasm back into their game if they want to come away with a good victory here.
Well, they put it through their hands, and that pass couldn't be controlled by Mullins. Long pass from Stewart and then from Daly. Meninga on the bench. Into the gum. I wonder how long that will last. Williamson.
He sees mistakes like that, I don't think it'll last too long.
Good field position for the Adelaide Rams. Their best attacking opportunity so far in the match, and Corvo got the inside pass from Boughton. Williamson. Stone. Turns it back on the inside. But the cover read that pretty well. No way through there for Pearce. Penalty.
Too early.
Well, it's kickable, but they want the quick tap, and Steve Stone sends it out to MAYBON. He's about 2 metres out. Joe Tamani waits for it at dummy half. Kerrod Walters wants it. The long ball. Out to Corvo. Got away from Stewart. Mark Corvo just pulled down from behind. Desperate tackle by Quentin Pongia. Kerrod Walters at dummy half. They work wide. Williamson turns it back into Quinn. Quinn getting very close. Double movement. No try.
Tell you what, that was a Referee's going to pull someone out here, Steve
Give him the ball
Stone.
straight away, all right? No, you give him the ball straight away.
So the play going down, he just reaches out and bang, lifts his arm once more. The referee right on the spot. That's a good decision, but I'll tell you what, Canberra very, very lucky to get away with that. A no try against them. Again, I think the enthusiasm is really lacking in the Canberra forward pack. Get up there and make those initial tackles. What a great covering tackle by Quinton Ponga before.
They're on the 20-metre mark. Full of eye. Pritis at dummy half. Penalty this time to Canberra. Adelaide inside the 10, so he's fairly consistent with the 10 metres so far, Steve Clark. Bradley Clyde finding touch. A couple of metres inside Adelaide territory. We haven't seen the green machine really open up yet. Lightning. Pritis, dummy to the left, gave it to Pongia. He picks up 10 metres. Typical fashion for Quinton Pongia. Pritis steals another 10 metres, so they're really working themselves into a good position now. Daly at dummy half to Stewart. Shows it on the inside and gives it to Clyde. Clyde almost got it away to Hetherington, who was unmarked, but he had to take the tackle. Stewart, Daly, Nadruku, still on the 10-metre mark. Final tackle coming up. Daly, the bomb across field. It's going to be too big though. Laurie misread that one. And it's over the dead ball line on the full. So we'll have a restart on the 20-metre mark.
Well, if Bradley Clyde had slipped that ball, there would have been all sorts of fireworks happening here in the commentary box, but Rod Maybon catches the ball. It's too deep by Laurie Daly. You just have to have less wheat picks in the morning.
I should clarify that. Gary Freeman has had a little bit of an investment on Brett Hetherington to score the first try.
It would have been a good day go back in the aeroplane.
The penalty goes to Adelaide. Williamson finding touch on the far side here at Bruce Stadium. Gerard Walters, Stone, and Donnelly in from the left wing. Taken by Furner and also Pongia. Pearce.
The Adelaide side are making very, very good yards up around that ruck area. The Canberra side not getting off their line too quickly and hanging back. They're making 10 and 15 metres every time they're on the ball.
This is Pearce. The last man with the hit up was Corbo, in fact. 20 metres out from the line. Williamson on the inside to Boughton. He picks up Blair. Cameron Bair plays it. This is good work by the Adelaide Rams, and Boughton gets it out the back door to Walters. They keep it alive. Hick running backwards. Still backwards. Eventually turns it into Kidwell. Kidwell has nowhere to go. Final tackle coming up. Can they finish it off? Joe Tamani flipped it out the back, but it was forward.
Oh, very, very unlucky there for Steve Stone, running across the side of the field, picking up Tamani on the wing. Just, oh, that's about a yard and a half forward. Had the right idea.
Clyde.
That's one.
Brett Kenny, Adelaide have shown they're here to play football.
Well, they certainly have, and of course Mal would be very disappointed. This is a very sluggish start by the Canberra Raiders, and possibly, I guess Mal may be hoping that Adelaide do come up with a try, which might spark the Raiders into some action.
20 from halfway now. As Pritis picks up 10 or 11 metres down the short side, catching them napping around the ruck. Stewart dummies and has to take them on. There's no way through there. Grab ball and all by Andrew Pearce. Almost on the halfway to the short side. Clyde with the dummy. On the inside, it's Mullins. Opportunity here. Ben Kennedy is unmarked, and Kennedy is away to score the first try for the Canberra Raiders. That's his 12th try in the Telstra Cup in '97. He remains Canberra's leading try scorer, and I tell you what, he's in hot form. Backs up all day.
This is great vision here by Bradley Clyde, going to the line, gets the hands over top of the Adelaide players, and Mullins backing up beautiful, back inside to Ben Kennedy. I'll tell you what, Clarkie, he was 7-1. Maybe we should have gone for the top try scorer of the Canberra side. But what you see here is that the Adelaide side really hanging up in defence, started to slide where they should have gone forward. That was Kidwell that we saw there. It goes into Mullins, who picks up Kennedy, making this a nice little short stroll over the try line, right underneath the black dot, Brett Kenny.
I do realise, hope you do realise that Hetherington was supposed to be in that position, and Ben Kennedy actually told him to go back to the open side. So Hetherington, I guess, probably would have scored that try.
FURNER, 82 points, 6th on the point scoring table, and he adds an extra 2. So it's 6 points to 0. Ben Kennedy. The Canberra fans will be grateful that he moved across from rugby union. He was the captain of the Australian under-21 rugby union team on a tour of Argentina when he was only 20 years of age. May have been a lethargic start, Brett Kenny, by the Canberra Raiders, but I tell you what, when they put their foot on the gas, they're dangerous.
Well, they've got players all over the field that can attack. Let's hope now that they might start to get themselves into a bit of action.
Well, now it is Adelaide, who've had a couple of opportunities but haven't been able to finish them off early in this match.
Yeah, what the Adelaide side are doing, they're running across the field because Canberra playing a little bit of slide defence to turn the ball back inside. It's opened up couple of little holes around that ruck area.
10 from halfway now. Kerrod Walters, he's had a fine season as captain of the Adelaide Rams. Stone can't get away from Prittis. Up over halfway goes Corvo, got it back to Hick. He offloads. Up from fullback is Roddy MAYBON. And they're inside Canberra territory by about 15 metres. Walters drilling it down into the corner. Too much weight on it though. Into touch in goal, so we go back to the 20-metre mark for a restart.
Canberra side there short on that right-hand side with Kerrod Walters. He jumped out to his left. Should have given the ball because they're all lined out here, the Adelaide side.
Hetherington. The gap's enclosed. 3 Rams defenders in there to shut him down. Bradley Clyde. High tackle.
Stay Stone. Stay Stone. Let's get him down, eh? Just aim a bit lower. Let's get him down.
Steve Stone penalised there for the high shot.
There he goes. Steve Stone sort of jumps up off the ground. Yeah, well, it's just a fraction high above the shoulders.
Clyde is okay. He found touch with the kick. Prittis with the tap.
Sorry, Clay, I haven't seen too many halfbacks actually hurt lock forwards that are 6'2" and they're only 5'7".
Plenty have tried though. Stewart to Hetherington, and the Raiders moving into good field position again, ready to apply more pressure. Daly with the switch of play back to Stewart. Stewart to Clyde. They wrapped him up 10 metres out from the line. Nagas at dummy half. The try scorer, Kennedy, he's copped the high one as well.
You're sailing very close to the wind, getting that leg out before you get any hands on it, all right? The second one was when your arm did come into contact, it's too high, okay? But you get them down. And watch that leg.
Well, Cameron Blair's tackling technique really does get himself in a bit of trouble. He throws out that left leg, puts the arm up above him, tries to bring the player down like on his stomach so they can get a quick play of the ball. Stop the quick play of the ball, I should say.
Well, a quick tap taken by Canberra there. Ricky Stewart half indicating that he was going to shoot for goal. Trying to catch him napping. Now it's a dummy from Stewart. Has a dart on his own, and it's been intercepted by the Rams. Rod MAYBON read that one pretty well. Ricky won't be too happy with that. Squandered opportunity by the Canberra Raiders, where they lead by 6 points to 0. Some sloppy play on the far side by the Adelaide Rams now. They're 25 out from their own line. Hick straight ahead, picking up 10. Wrapped up ball and all by Ricky Stewart. Steve Stone darting out of dummy half. Hetherington has him. All locked up in the tackle department, but missed tackles. Canberra have fallen off 3. Couple of metres inside the Raiders' territory. Williamson. It's a kicking over the top of the head of Lightning, picked up by Nagus, 1 or 2 metres out from his line. And he has to take the tackle. The chase was good from Kidwell and also Williamson. Fulavai, Nadruku.
Greg, Canberra have made a change. Jason Croker has gone on to replace Ben Kennedy, who's come off with what looks to be a slight thigh muscle injury.
Not a bad replacement to have, is it? Jason Croker. Nadruku.
You look at their under-19 side too, they've got 4 players there that have played first grade already. So got some great young kids coming through. So the young Big Fat, the halfback, very good player.
Clyde. He started this game in fine fashion. Bradley Clyde. He's a couple of metres from halfway. Mullins at dummy half, fires it out to Daly. He's allowed to run before offloading to Nadruku.
That's 6, hand over.
Yeah, that is the 6th.
Greg, we've just found out Kennedy hasn't come off with an injury, but they've replaced his studs. He's going to put longer studs into his boots.
And now it is Adelaide.
I've never heard anyone been replaced for that before.
It's a modern day game.
What if it was molten salt?
Maybe that's why he was limping, because the studs weren't long enough.
Well, Kidwell plays it. Corvo to Hick. Back to Corvo. Mark Corvo, great run, but pulled down by Pritis. That was a good tackle. Corvo trying to free the left arm to keep the ball alive. MAYBON. Over to Quinn. Or Stone, in fact, it was, but they're inside the red zone. The Adelaide Rams, they've been here before and they haven't been able to come up with any points. They're down by 6 points to 0. Walters at dummy half. To Stone, penalty.
10 metres, never got back to the line.
Well, this is a penalty to Adelaide, almost in front. A certain 2 points if Kerrod Walters wants them. Yes, Sandy prevails. A gift 2 points, and I guess they're going to be hard enough to come by when you're taking on a side like Canberra, so you may as well take them while they're there, Gary.
Well, you can take them while they're there, but if you're in the thinking that you are going to lose the game, what's the problem about going for the try? You know, you're better off trying to get 6 points instead of 2. You know, you might lose the game 14-2, but what does the 2 points mean in the end? You're better off trying to do something, create some space for all your players around you so everyone gets to know each other a little bit better all the time.
That's exactly right. I mean, if you're going to lose the game by 40 points, what's 2 points going to do? It's not going to make much difference, is it?
Maybe Adelaide don't think they're going to lose the game, gentlemen.
Now, there's a point.
Maybe they're a little bit positive. We've seen plenty of upsets in the Telstra Cup in '97. Williamson, what a find he's been in '97. Only 19 years of age. Pretty handy goal kicker as well. Scored a couple of tries in the Telstra Cup. From just to the right of the uprights. The flags go up. They're on the board, the Adelaide Rams. Canberra now leading 6 points to 2. Try to Ben Kennedy, converted by FURNER, and just the penalty now to Williamson for the Adelaide Rams. That will give them a bit of heart.
I just think the Canberra side, they just look a little bit too relaxed. Like I think they know they can win this game if they go at a certain pace. And I think, as Brett Kenny said before, Mel wouldn't be too happy because they have started off a little bit sluggish, and they're all sort of like looking at each other. Who's going to do the work?
The restart by Williamson. Lightning offloads to Clyde. Taken by Kerrod Walters in front of the uprights. 18 metres out from the Canberra line now. And Pritis able to steal another 10 metres from dummy half. Pongia waits for it this time. Hetherington can't punch a hole through Blair and also Pearce. Now it's Pongia. A lot of talk about Quentin Pongia in the sights of the Auckland Warriors. They want him for 1998 and may be prepared to swap that young Polynesian Leslie Van Colo. As we look at that kick, just dribble into touch over on the far side. Albert Fulavai chasing for Canberra, but it beat everybody.
It's just another option they have, don't they, with Ricky Stewart. He can go the line, throw the big long pass. The players don't know whether to come forward or stay back, and that stays there. He puts a nice kick over on the right-hand side of the field. It stayed in. Would have been pretty exciting stuff with MAYBON coming across from right to left. Of course, Fulavai coming down that outside.
the Adelaide Rams have made their first interchange. Brett Galea has gone on, and Mark Corvo is the man he replaced.
Stone. Now to Donnelly. Still inside the red zone, the Rams. Cameron Blair. As Walters waits for it. Joe Tamani. One of two Fijian flyers out there today. Tamani for Adelaide, and of course Ndruku for the Canberra Raiders. Pearce plays it almost on halfway. Here's the man from the interchange bench, Brett Galea, the former Bronco. To the short side they go. The kick from Kerrod Walters. Again, Royston Lightning is back there. Picks it up almost on his own try line. Got away from a couple of defenders, but claimed in the end by Galea.
Kerrod knocked it on.
Well, they almost retrieved the ball there on that occasion, the Adelaide Rams, but just a little knock on by Kerrod Walters in doing so.
Well, it just shows you there, Canberra side. No one really getting back there to be the marker. Dummy half, I should say, and just arriving a little bit too late.
Take it off, Adelaide.
Security trying to get in there as quick as he could.
Get him in,
Well, that just comes down to enthusiasm, doesn't it? If you want to get there, you'll get someone there. They know that they're going to go 2 passes wide the Canberra side on the first tackle when a kick's been put in.
Lightning, 12 out from the Canberra line. Nagus, claimed by Williamson. Also Quinn. Hetherington this time. Spritters waits for the dummy half. Turns it on the inside to Clyde, up towards halfway. Nothing wrong with Bradley Clyde's enthusiasm. Maybe it'll take on or catch on amongst his fellow teammates before too long. Croker at dummy half. Stewart, left-footed kick. He's chipping it over the top of Tamani, and he claims it about a metre out from his try line. Rod Maybon. The chase was good.
It's good work by Tamani, though. He picked it up on the left hand, spun around, picked up Maybon, making a bit of a yard. It's good work.
There's the man in question here, Joe Tamani. Donnelly, the left winger, getting involved. Taken by Hetherington. Stone. In possession, going Adelaide's way, but only just. On the scoreboard, it's still Canberra leading by 6 points to 2. Stone to Galea, to Blair. Blair to Quinn. Inside to Donnelly. He's taken, though, by Ndruku. Adelaide Rams putting it through the hands on that occasion. Now it's Kerrod Walters, the inside pass. Back to nobody. Picked up by Stone. Williamson. Pearce. Back inside to Williamson. Opportunity here. It's going to be a try. Ronnie Maybon is in under the black dot for the Adelaide Rams. They have hit back. And with the kick to come, they should be in front of a rather lacklustre Canberra. Mal Meninga not happy at all.
Well, he's not happy at all, but you know, it really comes down to guys having a go. See, Rod Maybon still laying down there after scoring that try. So great work there by Pearce. Back inside. I thought that ball was forward to Williamson. Picks up Maybon and goes straight. Gets inside Ricky Stewart. And then 2 players come flying over the top, and Full-of-Eye was one of them. I think Bradley Clyde was the other. But watch this ball back inside there. Good work there by the young kid. They find the hole, come back inside. Here's the player in Maybon. He knows if he stands up straight, he's going to get smashed. Dies at the last bit. Brett Kenny, that's a certainly good try for Adelaide.
Well, it certainly is, and as I say, it was a good ball back inside. And throwing the ball back inside always works against the sliding defence. As you see, he stops, throws it back in. And of course, Rod Maybon always backing up the centre of the field. Good step, got it past Ricky Stewart. Scored a great try under the pace, and I guess now when we were querying whether they should have taken that kick for goal, it was the right choice.
Isn't hindsight fantastic?
But I mean, as you say, Mal wouldn't be very happy with this performance by Canberra. You know, they're very lacklustre. They've come up with a try, but this is not the sort of performance they want 2 weeks away from the semi-finals.
Maybon back on his pins. A little shaky, though. Let's hope he's okay. such a key player at the back for the Adelaide Rams. And the man who'll try and add the extras, young Luke Williamson, also received a bit of attention. He was tackled after offloading on the inside to MAYBON. So he has the chance now to put the Rams in front. He's right in front of the uprights. 1 try apiece. A little under 17 minutes remaining in the first half.
I just think the Canberra defence, I know that when they're sliding the guys from the inside, they should, they're still not coming across. Watch him here, he goes down, bang, and then he just cops a bit of a knee in the back there, accidentally by Nagus. I think met by that, just shook the young bloke up a little bit. But the Canberra defence I was talking about, Greg, they've got to start coming from the inside, come across and help their mates on the outside. You can't leave that big hole up the middle because the Adelaide side are exploiting that.
Luke Williamson. This will give them plenty of confidence. He's nailed it. He's put the Adelaide Rams in front by 2. 8 points to 6. Adelaide over the home side, Canberra.
Well, Greg, Mal might be looking to change a few things out there on the field. He's put on Jason Burnham and Ben Kennedy, and they've replaced Brett Hetherington and Quinton Ponga. So maybe he's looking for these 2 players to go on and boost their defence and add a little bit more enthusiasm to the side.
FURNER waits for the kickoff. Laurie Daly gives it to Bradley Clyde. His tackles with Canberra have fallen off 7 compared to Adelaide's 2. That's not a happy statistic for Mel Meninga at all.
Not happy for anyone. Not any coach will be happy with that. Not with the players that you do have in your side.
Kennedy got the ball around the corner to Royston. Lightning. Lightning by name. He's got lightning in his veins, and so is this bloke. Well, that's the glory of Canberra. They can be down, and then all of a sudden they flick on the switch and they go into overdrive. Brett Mullins puts them back in front from one end of the field to the other, and all of a sudden the Raiders are back in front 10 points to 8.
Yeah, but put the try down the Ben Kennedy. He's the man who's just gone back on the field, feeds the ball on the Royston Lightning, and then I thought Kieran Wallace, he should have made the tackle before Mullins had even got the ball, because there's no chance once he got it he was going to catch him. But all that try comes down to is Ben Kennedy been on this field for 5 minutes, gets on the outside of the players. He just watches, he gets on the outside of Kidwell. The big right hand comes around. Beautiful little right foot step there, gets around there, and that's just the Superman on the wings. Lightning to Mullins. I don't think anyone was going to stop him.
Speed to burn there, Lightning and also Mullins.
It was a well-timed pass by Lightning too to Brett Mullins.
So 12 points to 8. The try by the centre, Brett Mullins, set up by Kennedy and also Lightning.
Still waiting for Hetherington to score.
It's pretty hard when you're on the bench.
It was converted by FURNER from at easy range, so 12 points to 8. 2 tries to 1. Now let's see what Adelaide can do. They have to hit back. And Joe Tamani taken about 15 metres out from the Adelaide try line.
I think Adelaide in this position now, the Canberra side really moving up as quick as possible in defence. They want to get the ball about 2 passes wide and catch them on the edges.
They're putting it through their hands now. Corbo got it away to Galea. One-handed pass to Williamson. They go wide to Quinn. Chris Quinn up over halfway. Taken on the inside though. Stewart came across in cover to shut him down.
I don't think the Canberra side was onside there at all.
Corbo, inside pass to Blair. Blair kicks ahead. Knocked back by Nagus. He picks it up and has another go. And he's 11 metres out from his own line.
Greg, here's an interchange by Canberra that may throw you. Quinton Ponga has gone on to replace Brett Mullins.
Front row for a centre. Yeah, it's thrown me. Here's Ponga now. Out to Clyde. Clyde into space. He's got Kennedy looming up. He goes to Croker. Croker back on the inside to Kennedy. Back to Lightning. He's left it behind. Knock on.
Went forward.
Well,
Even though he was facing his own line, it's
the squandered chance there. Bradley Clyde couldn't believe his eyes. He was into space and he had numbers on the outside.
But what about the ball from Quinton Ponga? The centre playing out, the forward playing out the centres, gets a great ball back inside, but Rod MAYBON done a great job there getting across and cover. He held off Bradley Clyde when he went through the gap there. Lightning comes up with a mistake. Does the ball go backwards? Well, I think the ball's actually travelled forward.
Propelled towards the opponent's try line. It's a knock on.
Rod MAYBON, making that tackle, actually held off Bradley Clyde, let him pass the ball, then made his tackle on Croker, I should say.
Kidwell this time. Taken by Stewart and also Furner. Walters giving it to Quinn. He turns it inside to Donnelly. Donnelly bounced out of a couple. Well, they're promoting the football okay, the Adelaide Rams. Prepared to throw it about. Boughton. Donnelly taken on the halfway mark. Stone. Short ball. Pearce plays it. Kidwell. Mullins is back out there now. Stone shaped a kick, had a bit of a run on his own and then kicked it out on the full. So not a great option on the final tackle on that occasion.
Well, he did the right thing. He ran the ball when the Canberra side shot up out of the defence line, but just put in a pretty ordinary kick. The kick of him better was the right thing to do.
It's Kenny Dagas. The inside pass not coming off. The Rams read that one pretty well. Pongi up. Oh, big defence there. Boughton. The ball has come loose and they'll pack down a scrum.
Adelaide feed loose.
Yeah, the big fella Quinton Ponga taking the ball forward, flicked over it. I think the ball just bounces out right there. Just drops it cold.
Scrum just inside Adelaide territory. Williamson up over halfway. Two in the tackle. The call from the referee Stephen Clark. You cannot steal the football in that situation.
You'll see Nagas comes up with the ball that gets pulled out right now.
The Rams have come up with another interchange. Mark Corvo has gone on to replace Andrew Hick, and Canberra have sent Brett Hetherington on to replace Pritis.
Tamani now. The Adelaide Rams, after leading by 2 points, 8 points to 6, have surrendered the lead again, and Canberra in front by 4, 12 points to 8. Opportunity out wide now, but they've left it behind. It's been cleaned up though. And 10 is there, Cameron Blair, to clean up about 12 metres out from the line. Now it's Williamson to Stone, the inside pass to Pearce. Taken though by Burnham. To the short side they work it. Kidwell. Canberra have defensive numbers here though. And they're a couple of metres out. Kerrod Walters waits for it at dummy half. Stone. Long ball across to Williamson. The inside pass. Again, the Canberra defensive line read it pretty well. Corvo. He's a metre out. Couple of tackles remaining on this set. Quinn at dummy half to Stone as the sun comes out here at Bruce Stadium. Not a great pass, but the bounce was good for Pearce. But in the end, he was easy pickings for Kennedy and also Clyde. So they lost ground on that occasion. To the short side, the little grubber kick into the in goal, and it's going to go over the dead ball line. We'll have a restart back on the 20.
Well, it's their kicking that game is letting them down, Adelaide. Got to go to the line, just hold their kick back a bit. Steve Stone, I think he might be just trying a little bit too hard against his former club, Canberra. So get the ball too wide and bring up the Canberra defence, then put the kick in as Bradley Clyde takes it forward again.
And gets the pass back to Nadruku. He's 5 from halfway. Jason Burnham running from dummy half, up over halfway. The inside pass to Pongi out of 1. Pongi got a ball back, and they flicked it out the back door, but the communication between Nadruku and also Fullervite wasn't spot on. Half a chance there, but it came to nothing.
A little bit unlucky here, but Quinton Ponga having a wow of a game since coming off for Brett Mullins. And popping a little short ball there to Nandruku. He throws a big inside ball there, but Fullaway just couldn't catch it that last moment. But in that play there, the Canberra backs, they were all in the middle of the ruck. They were like extra forwards. They weren't going to go wide.
The Rams, 15 from halfway. Mountain a dummy half, the double round, not quite the double round, the dummy from Williamson in the end, and he took them on. Corvo still running, looking for support, almost begging the support to arrive, and then he threw the pass after he was held and gave away the penalty.
Get away, get away, get away. Up off the ground.
Well, the big fella's done a magnificent run down that left-hand side of that touch line, holding Laurie Daly off. That's pretty hard to do. Watch him here. Holding, gets thrown down. I think that's what the referee said. Play the ball there. He's got up and decided just to pass the ball. Great run, ends up with a penalty.
Couldn't argue with that. Both knees were on the ground. He was effectively tackled. It's Fullaway.
He wasn't going anywhere.
Hetherington. 10 metres inside Adelaide territory. 2 tries to 1. Canberra leading, 12 points to 8. A little over 6 minutes remaining in the first half here at Bruce Stadium. Big line up out to the right. Pongia, he's beating some tackles, isn't he, the big fella?
It's a good form.
Hetherington. Clyde throws the dummy. Offloads back to Hetherington. He has nowhere to go apart from straight ahead. And it's the final tackle coming up. Stewart. They go wide. Plenty of green and white jumpers. They turn it back on the inside. Pongia looking. Can't get the pass away. And that's the handover.
Greg, the Rams have made another change. Andrew Hick has gone on to replace Andrew Pearce. And just a little side note, when Andrew Pearce came off, he said there's holes everywhere out there. They just can't capitalise on them.
Which side was he talking about, though? His own side or their side?
No, he was saying there's holes everywhere. The Canberra side.
That's good stuff for the front rower.
Ventilator of the Rams. On the 30-metre mark, their own territory.
He's not getting back.
It's penalised Canberra. You can see one of the players on the right-hand side. I think it might be Kennedy that was offside. Just leaving that ground a little bit earlier than he should have.
Andrew Hick, former Cronulla and Western Suburbs Magpie. Dean Schiaffeletti is on there as well. He's another well-travelled club man.
Yeah, Greg, he's replaced Cameron Blair.
Corvo, a one-handed pass back to Williamson. Those tackles still Canberra on the wrong side of that statistic. Total tackles, Canberra have had to make quite a few more than Adelaide. Adelaide well and truly in the match. Just 4 points separating these two sides. Boughton back to Williamson. Keep working to the left. And that kick again, I think it's going to be too big. Yes. So Steve Stone just can't get that ball to sit up in the in-goal area.
I think he would have known this field a little bit better than he has pulled off today, those kicks. The next option he should take is probably putting the ball in the air a bit.
Bradley Klein cleaning up there for Canberra. Stewart. Long ball over to Lightning. Showed it on the inside. Lightning got a great ball away to Kennedy. Kennedy on the inside to Mullins. Mullins on Stone. Who are you going to back? You've got to go with the flyer, Mullins. And he is in for a double. Brett Mullins. Again, good work on the short side. Stewart. Great work by Lightning and great backing up by the flyer, Brett Mullins.
Well, what about the ball from Ricky Stewart? Nice and long one. Holds up the defence. There's Lightning then just picks up Kennedy again. Raymond on this left-hand side of the field. And the speed's to Mullins. There's no chance Steve Stone's going to catch him. Brett Kenny, how did you see that one, champ? Right in front of you.
Yeah, it was a great ball by Ricky Stewart. And good thinking too by Lightning to throw the dummy to Mullins. And then, of course, Mullins backs up again on the inside. Once he sees the opening, there's no way in the world they're going to stop him. I'm surprised he didn't try and get around under the goalpost, but when you've got a bloke like David FURNER as a goal kick, you don't have to worry too much about it, do you?
9 tries now for Brett Mullins, and that's quite good because he missed the start of the season with that shoulder injury. FURNER, 15 in from touch on the 20-metre mark. Struck it pretty well, very well indeed. He sends it down the middle, so 3 converted tries now to the Raiders. They're out by 10, 18 points to 8. A couple of minutes remaining in this first half.
I think Rod Ready will be saying something to the players at half-time, especially on the right-hand side defence. Outside Kidwell there, Tamani, they really are falling down badly in that area. Canberra have capitalised there probably on 3 occasions with 3 tries.
The Raiders have made a couple more changes. Luke Prittis has gone on for Burnham, and Noah Nandruku has gone on for Albert Philivai.
Out on the full. Out on the full.
Out on the full, that was. The player is allowed to do these, stand outside the field and touch the ball, and then if he touches it, it goes back to the middle, and it's a penalty for kicking out of the full.
So mistake by Canberra from the kickoff.
There he goes. He gets it right on the outside of the field.
Whoa!
There you go. Even though he's dropped the ball, it doesn't matter. He's touched it while the ball was out.
Well, this will give Adelaide one final crack at it in the first half.
I think that was more good luck than management.
Whatever the case, they've got a little over a minute to try and hit back, try to reduce this deficit, which is 18 points to 8 at the moment. Galia. Offloading to Corvo. Back into Stone. They're inside the red zone. The try here will make it very interesting in the second half indeed. Galia trying to step his way through. Back to Schiavelletti. Then to Stone. Running across field, chased by Stewart. Thrown into the turf, 15 metres out. The penalty goes to Adelaide, holding down.
Shot a goal, fellas.
Well, with a half a minute on the clock, they're going to go for the 2. Take a gift 2 points.
Ricky Stewart giving away that penalty there. I think he was actually saying something to Steve Stone there. Ex-teammates laughing about each other. And he knew that he was going to give away the 2 points anyway. But they're still 2 tries short, the Adelaide side. So maybe there's a chance of running the ball with 25 seconds left on the clock. Well, there's only 3 now. He'll probably kick it right on the hooter.
Williamson, about 5 metres to the left of the uprights. He hasn't missed one today. Penalty and a conversion so far. $18 points to 8. To make it an 8-point ball game. He sends it down the middle, no problem with that one. So he maintains his 100% record with the boot in the first half, Luke Williamson. And at half-time, after the first 40, it is Canberra, the Raiders, the hot favourites here today, leading Adelaide by 18 points to 10. Is that enough, Gary Freeman?
Well, I think it is still enough. I think Adelaide are going to struggle a little bit in the second half. I think Mel have some stern words to say to his Canberra side about the enthusiasm. A lot of players are really playing well below their best of what we actually expect to see for the Canberra side. But the Adelaide side, they've got to fix up one area. That's that right-hand defence with Kidwell and, of course, Tamani. That's where they've been breaking 3 or 4 times to come up with tries and numerous breaks. That's one area that Rod Reddy is wanting to fix up for sure.
I noticed that as they were walking off, the referee warned Ricky Stewart about professional fouls. He doesn't want to see any more of that. And Brett Kenny, your thoughts on the first 40?
Well, I agree with Gary. I think Mal will have a few harsh words to say to the Canberra side. It's been a pretty lacklustre performance from them, really, and you know, a lot of players aren't playing to the best of their ability. I think Bradley Clyde's probably been the standout player for the Canberra side, but Adelaide have gone reasonably well. You know, their defence is okay. Well, it hasn't been outstanding, but they're willing to throw the ball around, and they've created a few problems for the Canberra side. So I think, you know, they could be well in it in the second half, but hopefully, you know, Mal will have a few harsh words to Canberra and they will come out firing.
You're just talking about that with the Adelaide side. What they are doing is running across the field, and Canberra having that slide defence, turning the ball back inside. They've caught them there 3 or 4 times. What they're not doing is that when someone's going forward, the Adelaide side, they're not backing them up. They're all waiting for the next phase of play. Forget that, boys.
Well, that's the glory of Canberra. They can be down, and then all of a sudden, they flick on the switch, and they go into overdrive. Brett Mullins puts them back in front.
The big right hand comes around. Beautiful little right foot step there. Gets around there. And that's just the Superman on the wings. Lightning to Mullins. I don't think anyone was going to stop him.
Speed to burn there. Lightning and also Mullins.
It was a well-timed pass by Lightning too.
It was a great pass, and the next try, Brett Mullins has been involved in them all. He scored 2 of them, and this one had everything you expect from a Canberra try. Great vision, great pass, great dummy, and great speed.
Stewart. Long ball over to Lightning. Showed it on the inside. Lightning got a great ball away to Kennedy. Kennedy on the inside to Mullins. Mullins on Stone. Who are you going to back? You've got to go with the flyer, Mullins. And he is in for a double. Brett Mullins. Again, good work on the short side. Stewart, great work by Lightning, and great backing up by the flyer, Brett Mullins.
And good thinking too by Lightning to throw the dummy to Mullins, and then of course Mullins backs up again on the inside. Once he sees the opening, there's no way in the world they're going to stop him.
Well, they're going to have to try to find a way to stop him if they're going to staunch the flow of this scoring process from Canberra. It is 18 points to 10 at half-time. Canberra done a lot of defending, and they've missed a lot of tackles, but they've just got that great scoring capacity. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. If you have a look at the stats, you'd think Adelaide would be in front, but the fact is that Canberra leading 18 points to 10. But looking at Canberra, like possession 44% of the time, but we've seen 3 great tries there, caused by in their own half, and we're seeing there too, 46%. Adelaide had the best of them. Sometimes, though, unfortunately, Adelaide have dropped the ball in crucial times close to Canberra's line and really have let themselves off.
Just about set for the kick-off, as you mentioned, and it will be Adelaide with the restart. So 8 points of difference after the first 40. Last night at Shark Park, we saw the hot favourites Cronulla move up another gear against North Queensland. Will we see this from Canberra, the hot favourites today? Kenny Nagus, Gary Freeman. He hasn't had too many attacking opportunities to the fullback today.
Well, the ball hasn't really been kicked that way. It's always gone out over the dead ball, but it's a good start by Canberra this half. They've made 40 metres already, and that's only their second tackle.
And here's Hetherington. He takes it to the halfway.
I just think that Mel would have had some stern words to say to a few of the players, and so you got to pick up your act. We need to go better at this, which they are doing now.
And it is a great start to the second half. Kenny Nagus, I said he had limited opportunities in the first half. Well, he's made up for it in the second. Nagus is in for a try. They open them up on the right-hand side of the field. And we have Rod Reddy, the Adelaide coach, standing by. Bear with us, Rod. That is not the start you wanted in the second half, but I bet you Mel Meninga will be pretty happy about that.
Once again, see FURNER just running through a gap out wide there. Playing slide defence, Adelaide. Really, no one came up with a tackle. Didn't touch anybody. But FURNER to get the ball out to Nagus, who you said hasn't touched the ball much. But nice long ball once again by Ricky Stewart, cutting out 2 players. There he shapes the pass, the ball gets outside Corvo. Then just brings the ball back inside, sets up a beautiful pass there to Nagus. And he goes straight underneath the black dot. It's the start that Canberra did want.
Kenny Nagus, that's his 3rd try in 97 in the Telstra Cup. And FURNER adds the extras, so the scoreline now 24 points to 10. A great start to the second half. Rod Reddy, thanks for standing by. Not the ideal start for your side.
No, it certainly wasn't, mate. Defensively, very poor there by Corvo. I'll put the finger on him. I think a blind man could see that one.
Yeah, what was the message at half-time, though? Because 8 points of difference, you know, you were still well and truly in it.
Oh, certainly, mate. I think with the ball, we actually do worry them without actually getting over the try line. I mean, we just lack a little bit of pace. When I say a little bit, I mean a lot of pace, actually, and it just gets shown up. I mean, Canberra's tries have been 60, 70 metres tries. We've controlled the ball reasonably well, got it in goal, but just haven't been able to finish our sets all along, and No lack of effort by our guys, but just lack of class.
Yeah, I think the effort is there as Kieran Walter comes up with a bit of a, say he says, knock back. But the big thing is that you've been turning the ball back inside and picking up some nice holes around the ruck area. I think you have been practicing that.
Well, I think Canberra should be soft, mate. We just haven't got the firepower to finish him.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for being very honest with us, Rod, and very frank, and good luck in your final match and also the second half of this one as well.
Thanks,
Rod Reddy,
mate.
the coach of the Adelaide Rams, a little disappointed with the lack of firepower.
I was quite amazed, actually. Rod did say that he thought they were a bit soft, and I think what he meant was their attitudes are probably a little bit soft, not physically soft, is that today was a chance where Adelaide might have had a go at beating Canberra on their home field, because they would have come out thinking, oh, we could just roll through this game and get away with the points. If the Adelaide side can make it a bit more tougher, that's what he's saying, they might come away with the game.
Well, it's 24 points to 10. Let's get some reaction from the Canberra coaching staff now, and Craig Bellamy joins us. Well, Craig, Rod Reddy very disappointed, but what about Mel at halftime?
Yeah, we were quite happy with our performance, Greg. Obviously, as Rod said, we scored some long-distance tries on, which obviously helped us. But at half-time, our main goal was to improve our inside defence. They turned the ball back in, from first, second receiver and put a couple of holes in us. So that's an area we really want to improve in the second half.
We used the word lacklustre to describe Canberra a little earlier on. Are the guys' minds on the job, or were they early on there?
Well, we thought so, and obviously we hope so. We've got a lot to play for today, a top 3 position.
And nothing wrong with Ben Kennedy there. He picks up a double, so his mind is on the job. A double to Ben Kennedy. But yeah, you're looking for that top 3.
Yeah, sure. And it's in our hands too. If we win our 2 games, we'll take 3rd spot. So we've got plenty to play for today. And I think you see our intensity pick up in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, it's going pretty well for you now. Thanks very much for that, Craig. You're on a bit of a roll, and Ben Kennedy, Gary Freeman, is on a roll. He remains Canberra's leading try scorer now. That's what, 13 for the season?
Well, next time I come here, I am putting my money on this kid, because he has played a sensational game. He went off in the first half for 5 or 10 minutes. Mel knew that he had to get him out there straight away, but scored another great try there. He's just got great feet, hands, just everything, and he's just tremendous. As FURNER now goes for the goal. Rick Kenny said you don't mind scoring him anywhere because he can't put him over.
So the kicking boots on today, 4 from 4. There's 5 from 5 for David FURNER, and all of a sudden the Canberra Raiders have hit 30. It is now 30 points to 10. The floodgates have opened.
Well, I just think Mal's actually said something, and this is a different Canberra side from the first half to this half. I think they were lacklustre. They just knew they could come out and win the game, but they have decided to put something on a little bit special. As Kennedy goes to the short kick-off, he collects it. Oh.
He takes a tackle. They're only 10 metres out, right in front of the uprights. The Raiders in top gear now, the green machine. Not a great pass, but a good pick-up, and they're getting very close to the line. Albert full of eye. Did he get it down? Steve Clark wants the video referee to have a look at this one. Oh, they're running hot, the Canberra Raiders. What about the kickoff? They caught Adelaide napping. One tackle, threw it out to the right, and full of eye. He thinks he's got it down.
You just watch this nice. I think he's got it down easy. I think the tackle there is pretty soft, really. Jason Donnelly lets him get it. Let's go of it. That's a try. Looks like it's a try to me, Greg Clark.
Well, it's on the ground there. No doubt about it from that angle and from the end on.
I think he's just thinking he might have actually lost the ball just around about there. You just can't... Not a clear picture. That's a very, very hard decision to make.
Right down in the shadows. Brett Kennedy, you want to throw your 2 bobs worth?
And I think it was a try. I believe he did have his hand on the ball, and I think you'll see that he's actually put the point of the ball onto the ground.
He's actually trying to see if he's actually lost the ball before it's hit the ground.
It is a tough decision. It's very hard to see, especially in the slow motion. It makes it a little bit tougher, but I feel it's a try. I'll lay odds on. There you go.
Albert Fullerby is on the score sheet for the first time in the Telstra Cup of '97. And so that's 3 quick tries by the Raiders in the second half.
It all goes back to that short kickoff. As we see there's Ben Kenny just outpaces Kieran Waddles to get the ball. The ever-present Ben Kennedy, he's just on fire today. Running, passing, catching, scoring tries. Ricky Stewart comes up with a long pass. It bounces along the ground there. It just picks up by Fullervine. I thought the defence there by Jason Donnelly was just a little bit weak.
The Rams have made another change. They've put Dean Scifolitti on, and Steve Stone is the man that he's replaced.
Very difficult conversion attempt for FURNER, but he doesn't care. Off the uprights, it bounces across the black dot. There's another 2 points. He can't do anything wrong either, FURNER. So it's 36 points to 10, and points for and against will be very handy for the Canberra Raiders. Trying to finish, as we heard from Craig Bellamy, in the top 3 to give them 2 lives. They'd love to overtake Cronulla and finish second, and that will give them a home ground semi-final. Next week, Canberra travel to the Wacker to play the Perth Reds. It's never easy making that trip. Adelaide next week have a home game, their final match for 1997, and that's against Penrith at the Adelaide Oval. So now it is the Rams, about 11 metres from halfway. No way through. The Canberra defence around the ruck. Walters up over halfway, gets a short pass away, and that is Pearce. He's ridden into the turf by FURNER. Left-footed kick, and the bounce is good, but Fullervine claims it, and he's on the 20-metre mark.
Well, the kicks come off all right, but as Canberra will spread the ball in the first tackle, try and catch a napping. Adelaide should run the ball on the last tackle, not the left-hand side, but that right-hand side. There's no one over there whatsoever. Mullins was by himself, and I think they've got to use a bit of vision, the Adelaide players.
They're 20 from halfway, Canberra. Daly, Laurie Daly hasn't been running the football too much today. No better sight in the game of rugby league than Laurie Daly running the football, but he's been offloading those long passes, getting wide out to the Mullins and also Lightnings. There's a kick over the top by Stewart. Not a good bounce for Quinn. Eventually he cleans it up. A little slow to pick up the bounce, Chris Quinn. Donnelly a dummy half. And a mistake. Mistake there by David Kidwell, and they may pay for this one as well.
The Raiders have made a change. Simon Wolford has gone on to replace Luke Prittis.
Simon Wolford, a very handy player to come on into the hooking role as well. They may be missing the likes of Wiki, DeVico, Boyle and Wesley. There's still plenty of depth in this Canberra club. Plan move at the back. Stewart misses out Daly. Mullins got away from Kidwell, popped it over to Lightning. Lightning cuts back in field. The cover got across there, and Williamson. Stewart, Hetherington out the back, picked up one in one hand by Stewart. He throws a dummy, the captain getting very close, and Ricky Stewart's going to score a try. His second try for 97. He's the one usually setting them up, not scoring them. 40 points to 10. 4 tries already in the second half. We've had, what, just over 10 minutes? Yeah, or just under 10.
It's good to see Ricky Stewart running the ball too. I know at the start of the season he was struggling with a few injuries and he had a lot of knockers out there. But you don't knock champions like this, and he's a great player. And with the ball in his hand, whether he's setting them up with his passing game or kicking game, and he is a great player. And he gets over to score a well-deserved try with organising everything in today's game. Brett Kenny.
Yeah, you've got to put this down to the fact that the Adelaide Rams aren't putting the man with the ball to the ground, and they're not stopping him from unloading, and that was seen there. I mean, Hetherington, I think it was, threw the ball out the back. It was a very good pick-up too by Ricky Stewart. I guess it's something that you expect from the man, but as you say, it's about time we start to see him run, and when he does, we know he can create some damage.
10 metres in from the far touch for David FURNER. This time it's waved away. So his 100% record does not remain intact. But the scoreline is a good one, 40 points to 10. They'll be pretty happy on the Canberra bench at the moment. Hetherington has a breather, holding his right shoulder. Kennedy, a double for him today. Double for Mullins. Joe Tamani. Adelaide about 32 metres out from their own line.
No way, Quentin. Gonna go all the way back.
Quentin Pongia inside the 10 metres. He's been pinged for it.
Greg, the replacements going on for Canberra. Brett Hetherington and David FURNER have come off, and Jason Croker and Jason Burnham have gone on to replace those two players.
Well, Adelaide, can they do something with this field position? Corvo.
Come on, ref, he's touched the ball, let him go.
Here's a mark here.
Kerrod Walters was away after the quick tap. He was called back.
Well, I'd like to see where the mark was, where Kerrod touched it to where he touched the ball just then, because it would have been too far away. Something you're allowed to do in the English game, but in the Australian game, the referee wants control, and you've got to give it to him.
Well, they're inside the red zone, the Adelaide Rams. What would you prefer, an English referee or an Australian referee?
It depends if I was going to score or not.
Give me an Australian referee any day.
Yeah. 10 metres out from the Canberra line. Adelaide, desperate for points. Solomon Keary, he's about 5 metres out from the line. Kerrod Walters. The bounce is good for Corvo. Back to Williamson. He's taken, though, by Croker. Also in there was Jason Burnham. Quinn at dummy half. Skiffaletti kicking in behind the line, but straight into the arms of Albert Fullervai, who's now playing out on the right wing. He started in the centres. Nona Druku at dummy half gives it to Daly, on to Nagus. He has one try beside his name, Kenny Nagus. He's the leading try scorer in the Visa Cup, Ken Nagus, with 11 touchdowns, only 3 in the Telstra Cup.
Greg, the Rams have made a change. Wayne Simons has gone on to replace Jason Donnelly.
Simons in jersey 22.
Good ball.
Mullins trying to get on the outside of Kidwalls, pops it back inside. Lightning had 2 attempts at catching it, and that stopped the momentum somewhat. Daly to Burnham. Bradley Clyde getting a breather.
He's been replaced by David FURNER.
Not much of a breather for FURNER. Here he is now, popping it out the back. Laurie Daly tries towing it through. It's like a game of soccer. It was on the ground. Ricky Stewart kicked it into the arms of one of his teammates, and now Ken Nagus takes it to about 12 metres inside Adelaide territory. Daly. Nagus from a standing start. Can't get away from Hick and also Blair.
Adelaide side, they're not onside at all. They're not back 5 yards.
Ricky Stewart just holding up the ball. Wolford picks up an awkward bounce. Taken by Skiffaletti. Daly. Inside to Pongia. Pongia through one. Oh, beautiful ball over the top. And it should result in a try, or is he held up? He's only centimetres short. Jason Croker. What a pass from Pongia, though. Wolford at dummy half to Daly. Daly gets it over to FURNER. FURNER, it's been touched by Adelaide. And knocked back. So Adelaide come up with it. They've survived that onslaught, but only just.
Oh, they were very, very lucky. That Quinton Pongia, I don't know where he got that pass. It wasn't out of a book, let me tell you. It was a good effort by the big man. He's going close today. Was scoring his first try. I've been here for 5 years as Croker. He is only centimetres away.
Greg, Brett Hetherington won't be back. He's gone to the change rooms. They're going to treat him for a shoulder injury, so he won't be back for the remainder of this game.
I hope he's back next week and in the semi-finals, because Canberra have had enough injury problems for their liking this year. Good pick up by Royston Lightning on his own 20-metre mark. Got away from one. Taken eventually by Skiffaletti. Full-of-eye dummy half to Daly. Nagus is trying to burst through the tackles, can't get away from Williamson. Up over halfway goes Wolford, back to Stewart. Stewart to Croker. Oh, he got the fend going brilliantly. Croker, one of the Adelaide Rams players, down in back play.
Too long.
Holding down the penalty. It goes to Canberra.
The Rams have made another change. Brett Galea has gone on for Cameron Blair.
Quick tap taken by Stewart, and FURNER is out wide. He got a great pass away to Kennedy. Kennedy looking for a hat-trick, but pulled down only 5 metres out. Here's Daly. Daly holds it up for Wolford, and Simon Wolford gets across the line for the try. The 22-year-old is in for his 3rd try in 97. More points for Canberra. They head towards the half-century. It's now 44 points to 10.
Well, we talked about Laurie Daly earlier. He needs to run more with the ball. But I'll tell you what, look at the big fend there on Skipper Letty. It's resulted in him. He never got back in the defensive line for the next 3 tackles. So they were a man down, so they were going to be short all over the paddock. But this is what happens when you're a player with that ability. You run the line, drag players out of the line. You only need guys to run into the holes like Wolford did there. You'll come up with a try.
So FURNER gets another opportunity to add some points from just to the left of the uprights. He doesn't miss them from there. 46 points to 10. Wolford, the try scorer, off the bench. Permanent replacement, Wolford.
This is Laurie Daly once.
Yeah, as you see, Laurie Daly there just going towards the line. And of course, Wolford just runs straight to the gap. And you know, the way that the Rams' defence has been lately, it's not going to be too hard to bust it.
What are you trying to say?
They're not tackling well, are they? Steve Stone has gone on to replace Dean Skiffoletti after that missed tackle. Obviously, Rocket wasn't real happy with that one.
That's the difference with the Adelaide side. Must see something like 19 tackles to Canberra's 14. Maybe they've missed something like 19 tackles, Adelaide. You know, every time they've missed those tackles, Canberra have come up with a try, whereas Canberra's just 14, and they haven't been able to score. Always that one pass short.
The kick from Kerrod Walters right into the arms of Royston Lightning. The Adelaide defensive line moved up at 1. They claim Lightning about 28 out from his own line. Mullins taken by Williamson. Switch of play from Stewart. Burnham, Nadruku. Plenty of tries on offer, and Noah would be pretty keen to get in there and grab one himself. Play hasn't gone his way today, though. FURNER allowed to run out of the centres. 32 out from the line. Daly turning it back on the inside to Jason Burnham. Wolford waits for a dummy half. Stewart. Long ball, Clyde. Clyde with the dummy. The inside pass to Mullins, and Mullins has got a hat-trick. It was the old firm, wasn't it? It was Stewart, Clyde, Mullins.
Well, they don't need the other 10 blokes, do they? Leave it up to these 3 here. What about the ball here by Bradley Clyde? Holds out with a big right arm claw. And then Mullins is just too strong. He takes over Simons. And Quinn is playing at the fullback spot now. But this is another beautiful long ball by Ricky Stewart. Running to the line with it. Starting to slide at defence. Got that inside ball. It's just too fast, that close to the line. Brett Kenny.
Yeah, that was a great pass there by Ricky Stewart. He had a lot of time. You know, I think at one stage he was thinking of even putting a kick through, but as you say, Bradley Clyde there got outside his man. Actually, he knew what he was going to do. He showed the guy inside because there was Brett Mullins, and once again, when he gets in the clear, you're not going to stop him.
Yeah, just one thing on that defence, Adelaide, their players really should realise if it's not going to get out past outside the ball, go on and make a tackle.
So FURNER. 10 in from touch. It's curving round beautifully. So they're over the half-century mark now, 52 points to 10. Remember, it was only 18 to 10, an 8-point ball game at half-time. Whatever Mel said at half-time, well, Brett Kenny, Canberra have responded.
Well, they certainly have, and as we say, it was a great ball by Ricky Stewart. Of course, the inside pass to Brett Mullins. I mean, he loves backing up, and playing fullback, I guess, is his favourite position, and that's an ideal spot for him because he can roam around anywhere and come into the line wherever he likes.
Brett, it's no good leaving your good form behind just a couple of weeks going into the playoffs. If you're really going to be a threat to win the Telstra Cup, you really have to hit top form, and I guess in the second half we've seen that Canberra really have to be rated highly.
Well, that's right. I mean, this is what we were saying before the game. You know, they've got 2 weeks to go now before they hit the semi-finals, and they want to be in top form. And as you say, they've started it now in the second half, but they've got to make sure they continue this on for the next 3 or 4 or 5 weeks.
Still 18.5 minutes remaining on Fox Sports. Simon's got it back to Blair. The inside pass.
Greg, Canberra have made a change. Todd Payton has gone on to replace Quentin Pongia.
What a future this kid has got. Todd Payton, still only 18 years of age. An Australian under-19 rep this year as the Adelaide Rams fine touch about a metre out from the corner flag. Kidwell gave chase, but it beat him into touch. Old Kieran Walters can afford a smile.
I think Brentley Club was saying, look, Kieran, you've been on some winning sides before. You've won grand finals, so don't take it too hard. We're not trying to be nasty to you. It's just one of those things in football. But even putting the kick in the line there, look, I know they're 52 points behind, but
maybe they should start a blue in the scrum.
No, not with Dave Furner on there. I think they still come off second best because he can throw them. Well, they should put the ball in the air. Try and get the ball back. Do something a little bit different than just running it one out and then putting the ball on the ground and taking it out for a scrum.
30-metre mark. It is Canberra through Daly. Now to Furner. Taken. 18 from halfway. The inside pass. That's Todd Payton, the 18-year-old. Now it's Daly. Kennedy, Nadruku. Noah. Still can't find any space. Bradley Clydes had a great game. And that was knocked back by Simons. So Adelaide have it. 25 out from their own line. Solomon Keary at dummy half. Chris Quinn, long ball out to Kieran Walters, who was almost in the fullback position. And Karen puts the foot on the gas. The inside pass, though, has been intercepted by Lightning. Joe Tamani was on the fly, but Karen couldn't link up with him with the pass, and now Mullins has it.
Karen, then we got back 10.
Well, then Karen, if he'd looked around, he'd actually beaten Ricky Stewart for pace, and he throws the ball back inside.
Well, now he could pay the penalty because it is Kennedy charging onto the inside pass. Good tackle around the ankles, though, by Pearce. Simon Wolford, he knocks on. Simon will be disappointed with that. Such a handy player coming off the interchange bench. Almost half his first-grade career has been off the interchange bench.
Yeah, it's very hard when you had players here like Walters to try and break into this side because there's so many quality players down here.
Critters, New South Wales representative this year.
Very, very tough. But it's great for a club to be in that sort of situation where you can pull on something like 3 or 4 players to play in one position. It's very, very handy. Oh.
Second one.
Mistake by the Adelaide Rams.
The Rams have actually made another change. David Borton has gone on to replace Andrew Hick.
Come on, fellas, let's go.
Simon's coming up with the mistake there.
Come on. Let's get it in there.
And I think the Adelaide side don't even want to form the scrum.
Get in, Rick.
Stewart feeds the scrum, gives it to Daly. Daly. That's Kennedy standing out in the centres. Ben Kennedy. Now it's Jason Burnham about 11 metres out from the line. 52 points to 10. Another try could be on here. It's Furner getting the step going, getting close to the line. The Rams managed to hold him up. He'll play it a couple of metres out. Wolford at dummy half. Stewart, the long ball. Halfway across the field to Daly, who starts to run. Then he links up. Back it goes now to Stewart with the dummy. Burnham, Croker, almost lost it. 8 metres out. Stewart, the short pass, it's been left behind, but now it's been knocked on by Mullins. And Adelaide have it. So they stood their ground in defence on that occasion, Adelaide.
I'll tell you, out here on the left-hand side, Solomon Carey and Dave FURNER, they actually stood their ground because they're going to have a break. But Pearce,
they're not going to have the legs to get away with it, though. Stone a dummy half. Corvo. Back to Stone. And to Hick. Kerry up over halfway. Got the pass on the inside to Quinn. He was entitled to take it. Just snatched at it and knocked it on.
Dave, 25 Adelaide. 25 Adelaide.
So having a little bit of push and shove here, just being a little bit friendly, want to sort of take things on. I think Lucky Kerry was there, but I wouldn't have been him. I put myself in a position where if they two started throwing, then you're liable to cop some.
The high shot
Lovers tip there.
Yes, it was you.
Canberra have made a change. Quinton Ponga has gone on.
It was you, all right. I played the advantage because I'm on the attack, all right? Now you cut the rubbish here. Leave it up to us, all right? You got to get over and get that blood cleaned up. Your blood.
So the touch judge gave Steve Clark the report, and Kerry and FURNER copped the warning. 13 minutes remaining. Kenny Nagus all smiles as he gets a breather on the bench.
Actually, Ken Nagus went back out to replace a player, and then they've just called him back off again. So it's all fun and games here. Now Ben Kennedy's going out. When he gets out there, he'll decide who he wants to replace.
Have you got your boots?
It's too cold.
52 points to 10. I guess Royce Simmons and the Penrith Panthers will be keeping a close eye on this game on Fox Sports today, because Penrith travel to Adelaide next week, and a win for the Panthers over the Adelaide Rams will get them through to the semi-finals. The Adelaide Rams always are a tougher opposition, opponent on their home ground. Daly, Payton, 35 metres out from the Adelaide Rams line. Stewart, Mullins, got rid of Stone. He's throwing it around willy-nilly at the moment. Jason Burnham cleans up. He was chased by Brett Galea. Now it's Daly. Clyde kicking for the far side, and there's another try, is it? Royston Lightning won the race.
Check if he's onside, and if he is, if he got downward pressure on it.
Was he onside? Did he get downward pressure? Royston Lightning, the flyer, read that one pretty well. It was a great kick by Bradley Clyde. The video referee has been called upon. Let's have a look at it here. Clyde, well, he's onside from that angle. No doubt about that. So an easy one for the video referee there. Lightning onside. Did he get it down? Looked to be downward pressure from that wide angle. This will tell us. Downward pressure for me.
Try for mine.
I want to see it one more time.
Ah, look. You backed Hetherington, didn't you, to score the first try? You are a good judge.
Well, Meninga looking rather relaxed there. 52 points to 10 at the moment. The decision is on its way.
Stand by.
Go try.
You can pick him, can't you, Brett Kenny and Greg Clark? At least I said I want to have one more look because I wasn't certain. And I'm just going to say it was no try.
A let-off for the Adelaide Rams. They'll be relieved about that one. So Stone a dummy half. Kerrod Walters. A little knock on there by Kerrod.
It was one-on-one. It was one-on-one. It was one-on-one. He's allowed to do that. Yeah, but then it come off out of his hands and then it was last off your hands forward when you tried to regather it.
It's a tough life being a coach. Looking at your side, down by only 8 points at half-time. Now all of a sudden 42 points in arrears. One-on-one the call.
See, I reckon Todd Payton stolen the ball and then it's play on.
But he knocked it on when he tried to regather it. That's the call from Steve Clark.
But it must be knocked on by him first.
But he knocked it on as he tried to regather it on the ground.
David FURNER has gone on for Ben Kennedy.
I disagree, Clarkie. I reckon that was play on. I reckon Kieran Walters was right.
Now it is FURNER. You going to take your football home?
I'd like to have a look at the replay.
Now. You want another replay? It wouldn't matter. You wouldn't be able to see what was going on anyway.
Pongia. Out it goes to Bradley Clyde. Back to Wolford. Inside to Payton. Out of one. Getting very close to the line, Todd Payton. And he lost it. And so Adelaide have it. Well, they'll play the knock-on.
Players will try anything, won't they? Saying he got the ball stolen, reaches out and just drops the ball clean.
He was heading for the try line. Todd Payton couldn't control it though. Stone. Good tackle by Croker over there on Kidwell. Pearce. Former Cronulla Shark, Andrew Pearce. Stone from dummy half. Makes it to the 30-metre mark. Corvo. Solomon Carey. Time in their own half. Look at that. Adelaide have spent 63%. That's been the big difference. But I guess when you're playing Canberra, it doesn't really matter because they can score from their own end of the field as well. It's been touched by Canberra. The tackle count starts again. Kidwell. David Kidwell pops it up to nobody. Bad communication over there. Tamani ran away from him.
He's got it back.
Corvo. Stone. Tamani. 25 metres out from the Canberra line. Inside the last 10 minutes here at Bruce Stadium. That was knocked down by FURNER, so they'll play the knock on.
He's played pretty strong for them today as Pearce. The problem is that too many guys around. As I said at half-time, Clark, is that if they're going to back the guy up with the ball, they've got to get a little bit closer. They can't make 15 or 20 metres back as Steve Stone leaves the field with a bit of blood underneath the eye there. They've got to get a little bit closer to the big man.
And Dean Scifoletti's gone on. He's replaced Cameron Blair, who was knocked down in back play and has been assisted from the field. Not looking too good.
Hasn't he had a great game, Bradley Clyde? Just leads by example, takes the ball forward. He's always out. The first time there's a kick downfield, he's there to take the ball forward for his forwards.
Yes, that's right.
Stone. Well, this is the best field position that the Adelaide Rams have had for quite some time. Solomon Carey. Got a good ball away to Williamson. Williamson heading for the try line. Did he get it down? Yes, he did. So the Adelaide Rams have a consolation try. Luke Williamson. And it's now 52 points to 14. It was a good offload from Solomon Carey that put him in the clear.
Yeah, it was good work there. Solomon Carey stepping off his left foot there. Williamson comes around and backs up beautifully, but Mullins, well, I thought was very, very good here. Tries to get him on his back. Just gets the ball down just in time, but a good pass here. The right hand. Look at that short ball there. Gets him between Full-of-Eye and all. Mullins comes flying across there. Tries to turn him over. Luke Williamson just gets the ball down in the nick of time.
And he will try and add the extra two. You've got to give this kid a rap. You know, he plays with a lot more maturity than his age suggests. Only 19 years of age. And when you think about the 5'8" he lines up against, like today, the best in the business, Laurie Daly, Brett Kenny, a former 5'8". I mean, he's doing a good job for a 19-year-old, surely.
Oh, he certainly is. He showed a lot of character in a lot of his games, and as you say, maturity above his age. And I think he's got a very bright future, and hopefully Adelaide will be able to hold on to him for a lot of years. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of other clubs chasing him.
Comes from a good rugby league pedigree, of course, the nephew of the Australian representative Lionel Williamson. He's about 5 in from touch. Not a bad conversion attempt. He sends it down the middle. 52 points to 16 now. Canberra over Adelaide. So Adelaide have managed to score a try in each half. And a good personal tally for Williamson. He's scored a try and he's kicked 4 goals now. And Williamson with the restart. They try a short one, but it's going to be on the full, in touch. That is a penalty on the halfway mark. Well, I guess they have to try something, Brett.
Well, they did, but I mean, it just went a little bit too far. I mean, you know, I don't know. As you say, they've got to try something, but it's just not their day today.
Stewart. It's been his day, but not Kieran Walter's day. And Ricky Stewart finds touch. 25 metres out from the Adelaide line. Wolford, the tap to Stewart. Royston Lightning, head down, tries to burrow his way through the defence. Taken by Corvo and also Walters. Now it's Pongia. He had Mullins on his hip. He just couldn't offload. Stewart, switch of play to Daly. Daly holds it up, gives it to Furner. Furner gives the dummy. Furner gets very close to the line. And he got it down for a try. Well, he had 2 or 3 defenders hanging off him. They couldn't stop David Furner. There's another 4 points to the Canberra Raiders.
Solomon Kerry will be a little bit disappointed with his effort in there in the ruck area. A nice long ball here to Furner. Really just steps up his right foot. And Carey and David Borton and Williamson, they really just couldn't hold him up. He's just too strong.
Well, that was poor defence by the Rams then. 3 players on David Furner. We know he's got a good step, and as you see, he uses it there. There's 2 there. 3rd player comes in. He had no right to score that try.
Well, someone should have put their hand on the ball or gone for the ball. I know they had 2 players around his legs already. You know, but
I mean, that's right. I mean, they're not in a position where they don't have to worry about giving away a penalty. You know, I mean, it's not a close game. They should have done something.
So Furner gets a breather on the bench. He scored 20 points today, 8 from the boot, and of course the try. So he's had a breather, or he's having a breather, and the kicking duty's being taken now by the other winger, Royston Lightning. 8 from 11 in 97, 73%. Lightning. Well, if Furner can do it, so can Lightning. Another 2 points, so it's 58 points to 16. David Furner with that try, by the way, taking his personal tally to 20 for the match, so he becomes another centurion in the Telstra Cup of 97. So Furner now has 104 points. And he takes his personal tally to over 900 first-grade points in his career. What a player. Carey manages to offload out to Tamani.
I think Adelaide now, what they've got to do is just really throw the ball around every time they get it. That ball was thrown forward there by Steve Stone. Skipperletti, I should say.
Just running through the record books as well, and this is the heaviest defeat for the Adelaide Rams in 1997. They lost 42-22 to Canterbury, 34-18 to Canberra last time they met in round 12. They've been pretty competitive at times, the Rams, but it's all come unstuck today. Galia back to Corvo. Some of the forwards haven't given it away yet. At 90 seconds remaining. Crossfield with the sliding defence, there's no trouble getting across there. And from the kick it goes to Lightning. So the Raiders will have one last crack at them. They can score tries from this end of the field. Fairly lethargic in the opening minutes in this match, the Raiders, but there's been nothing wrong with their second half performance as they start to run again, and Todd Payton is tackled 12 metres from halfway. Ricky Stewart, the inside pass to Jason Burnham. Stewart. Clyde had a blinder today. Bradley Clyde into space again. Where's the support? The cover got across there. He takes the tackle. 35 seconds remaining on the clock. Stewart, big line up out to the right. Burnham. This is out one player, Mullins. Out to the Druku. The inside pass, but Adelaide come up with it. There were a few green and white jumpers around, but it ended up in a red and blue jersey. Kidwell. Tamani. The Adelaide Rams are having the final crack, and that's the halfway mark. 18 points to 10 at half-time, 3 tries to 1 in the second half. The Raiders had run in 7 tries to 1. As the siren sounds here, it's all over, much to the relief of the Adelaide Rams, no doubt. Their biggest loss of the season. 58 points to 16, only 8 points in it at half-time. And Gary Freeman, the Green Machine, was in top gear in the second half.
They certainly were, Greg Clark. They really did start to fire up, and that player there I think was the best on the field was Bradley Clyde. Whether it was taking the ball forward or making tackles that needed to be made, he was always available. The big thing that let Adelaide down really was 33 missed tackles up against Canberra's 16. Rod Ready be very, very disappointed about that, but when you have players of the calibre of Stewart, Andruku, Mullins, Nagas, Furner, and I thought even put in playing and Ben Kennedy, mate, they were just really hot in the trot today. The mistakes the Raiders did make, I should say, the Rams, I should say, that really did let them down here today.
So a fine second half performance by the Canberra Raiders. They scored in total 10 tries to 2. And we'll get some reaction very shortly with Brett Kenny. Let's go down to Brett Kenny now. He's with the ever-smiling Canberra coach, Mel Meninga.
Yeah, well, Mel, I guess it was a game played in 2 halves. First half, it wasn't what you would have wanted, but of course the second half they started to show their true colours.
Yeah, we had a bit of chat at half-time. You know, our intensity and aggressiveness wasn't all that hot in the first half, but we turned around, got everything by the boys in the second half.
Well, because next week you've got a very important game against Perth over there at the Wacker, and it is very important because it's an opportunity for you to get yourself into the third or the top 3 position.
Yeah, well, it is. It's very important to chance at the grand final. So obviously we've been talked about the last couple of weeks actually, and that was a good win. Next week it was a tough trip over to Perth to win it, but yeah, we're pretty hopeful, and we'll see how it goes.
Mate, I guess this is the right time of the year for your boys to be playing well, and this is something that you'd want to keep them going for the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, intensity the last 2 games, not so much the first half today, but it's definitely the second half. Last 3 games have been pretty good, so you know, as long as we don't get any more injuries, we've been, I don't know, something's gone against us in the last couple of weeks, and we've lost about 4 players. So, you know, if we don't get any more injuries, we're a good chance of the grand final.
It seems to happen every year at Canberra that this time of year always manage to get a couple of injuries to some key players, but on the score of injuries, how are those players going?
Well, Dave West is out for the year. Luke DeVico may be out for the year. Ruben Wiki with broken arms out for the year. David Ball hopefully might be back next week or the week after. So keep your fingers crossed we get Bally back at least.
Is there any good news? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is there any good news?
Well, the good news is we didn't get any injuries today. So that's a plus for us. And we've got one more game, obviously, like I said, against the Reds. So, you know, if we don't get injuries over there, we'll go in the finals with probably our best team that's available.
All right, well, good luck for the rest, for next week anyway, and good luck in the final series.
Yeah, thanks, Bert. Thank you.
Thanks, Mel.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, no problems for Mel Meninga today, but plenty of problems for his opposite, Rod Reddy, Gary Freeman. They'll be disappointed in there.
Very, very disappointed. You can actually see the players, they've got their heads down. The Canberra dressing room, they'll be a little bit more happier. They're just sitting down there waiting for their coach to come back in to congratulate them on their second half.
Well, a fine performance by plenty of Canberra players out there, but really I think the man of the match for us was Bradley Clyde, and he's now with Brett Kenny.
Yeah, that's right, Greg. Bradley Clyde, our man of the match. And what was actually said at half-time by Mal?
Well, he stressed the intensity level had probably dropped, especially after we scored a couple of tries, and we tend to do that. There's probably a bit of a problem we've got to address, you know, especially with the semi-finals coming up. But Mal's just said, you know, we've got to, first 20 minutes has got to be intense or else we're going to really struggle.
Mate, I noticed there you put in a little kick towards the end of the game. Have you been given permission by Mal to do these sort of things?
Well, he hasn't actually given me permission, but I practice it at training, so maybe one day it'll come off.
Well, it didn't today, but I guess you'd probably blame the winger because the opportunity was there and he just didn't ground the ball properly.
Well, yeah, the opportunity sort of, if it's going to arise, I'll stick the kick through, and the winger was calling for it for the kick, so, you know, I had to oblige.
Mate, you get yourself out wide a little bit today as well. Do you enjoy playing out wide, or you'd rather play in close?
Well, you know, it depends what the game offers. I mean, today the game offered me to get out wide and to run a little bit freer, whereas with the tight games you've got to make sure that your work rate's up to just make it easier on everyone else. And naturally enough, I prefer to get out wide and run where there's open spaces, but that's not always the case.
Well, you've got one more game to go before the semis, and if you can come up with a win next week, it'll put you in the top three, which is a position you'd like to be in. Yeah,
that's something we're striving for, definitely. You know, the Canterbury loss there the other night, really, you know, we can make that work for us, and we've got another game in front of us, and we to make sure we win that and put us in good stead.
All right, well, good luck next week and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Brett.
Yeah, fine performance today by the number 13 for Canberra. So that's about the story here at the Bruce Stadium in Canberra. At a half-time, it was 18-10, and full-time, Canberra running hot in the second half, ran out winners by 58 points to 16.
The Green Machine at its very best. 10 tries to 2. In my mind, from an Adelaide Rams point of view, goes back to round 8. Remember when the Rams went to Shark Park and in that first half they dropped the ball once? They had one turnover from about 6